AI, right?
AI.
So, AI, this is something a little bit different. It's my movie, but it's our movie.
I feel like all your movies are different though.
Here's the thing. This is a movie that Kim requested that we do.
Oh.
I just wanted to share it with somebody because I feel like I haven't met anyone else that's watched it. It is really good.
I've never
She
seen
showed
that
it to
movie.
me.
Really?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
When did you watch this movie first, Kim?
I watched it, I think I was either 7 or 8 years old. And me and my dad watched it, and we were both in the kitchen crying. We were both crying.
I see.
And she wanted a teddy bear. What is it? A teddy?
Yeah, Teddy.
She wanted a teddy.
Can I tell you something real stupid?
Always.
So there's a movie called Ted.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I watched this movie, I was like, oh, his name's Ted because it's Teddy.
Wow. He votes, y'all. He votes for president. He votes for.
I don't know why it never clicked in my head. I was like, because you know why it clicked? Because he starts running. And I'm like, oh, that looks like Ted. And I'm like, oh. And then it's like, okay. Anyways, that's a crazy movie to watch when you're 7.
Yeah.
I didn't pick it.
You were about the same age as the kid was. He was 10, right, in the movie? He was a 10-year-old
I
kid?
think so.
By the way, the other kid's the kid from Even Stevens.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Lizzie McGuire, right?
Oh, it's Lizzie McGuire, not Even Stevens. Lizzie McGuire.
Dude, I kept going through the whole movie, like recognizing people. And that's something that usually Kim does. Kim goes like, isn't that the person from that one milk carton 18 years ago? You know what I mean? Like, she's really good at pointing out actors, and this time it was me.
I'm sure right there, I'm sure you're going to marry me.
Huh?
I do that all the time.
She's gonna I get you. Yeah. I'm marrying you.
Yeah. You just got somebody.
Yeah. Hey,
it's cool. But no, I do that all the time. Vanessa gets so annoyed. I'm like, do you remember that? Because, I mean, I understand. Like, I love Vanessa. But we'll watch a movie.
But.
And then in the next movie, I'll be like, oh, you know who she is, right? Like, when we watch The Menu. And I'm like, you know who she is? The one from The Well. And I'm like, that's the one from The Menu. And she's like, it is, huh? And I was like,
yeah.
In all fairness, though, I didn't remember that one. Either. But anyways.
But this time is different because like it's such an old school movie. Not such an old school movie, but it's like an older movie.
It's 2001,
right?
I believe.
The Space Odyssey. Yeah.
And why the fuck does Jude Law look the fucking same? And he looks the same, and yet he still has a receding hairline.
Yeah, I know, right?
Bro.
Damn. I don't know if they predicted the future that well, or if he already had a receding hair. Like, it was like, that was an M. Like, it was a perfect. It was straight up receding hairline. It was dope.
That shit was crazy. But hey, he's so talented. I love him. He's so good.
So I asked you this before. I told you to give me a spoiler alert. You wouldn't budge. Did you like the movie?
I liked the movie, but it wasn't like a movie that like I don't know if I'll ever remember this movie like a few years.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, this movie when I first saw it, it really hit me.
I'm sorry, Kim.
It really hit me.
Yeah.
It just made me so sad.
It made me sad too. Yeah. I mean, definitely towards the end, and maybe it's just a fault of mine because I just didn't think it was going that way.
Okay.
Because it started off with like he gets adopted by this family. And obviously they lost us, or we think they lost us. At least I thought they lost their son. And then all of a sudden, they made this kid that's so real, and she brings him home, and then she like really gets to be his mom. And even though she knows he's not real, she kind of has this whole thing. Anyways, and then their kid shows up. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with their kid. What was wrong with him? They never said, right?
I don't think so. Did they say Kim?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think they
I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on, and then I don't know why I thought that was gonna continue that story of like, and then it didn't, and they just left him, and I'm just like, first of all, that was like, God, I can't believe they did that.
Yeah, I would say that middle part is kind of like what lost me a little bit.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah,
like whenever they started like fighting robots and like all this other stuff, I was just like, okay.
No, it got weird. Like, especially
weird.
when the bike sent the hounds after them and the moon came out.
Yeah.
And then the bikes, and I was like,
but if you think about it, and I forgot about this until the ending.
Okay.
That is a Steven Spielberg movie.
Yes.
Same guy that did E.T.
Yeah.
And so like it was very E.T. for me, you know?
He likes all that stuff. Yeah. Makes
Like
sense.
all that adventure that fucking is so loony and so weird. Like that's very Steven Spielberg of the 90s, early 2000s kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
It feels like a different movie. You know what I mean?
the middle part or
Well, yes,
just
that, but I just meant like in general, like the entire movie feels like when you watch a movie, like it most of the movies you watch feel the same. But like when you watch a certain movie like Steven Spielberg, even though you don't know it's Steven Spielberg, you just know it's a director with a special type of vision.
yeah.
Cause it looks different than any other movie. Like the way it's shot, like the angles they use, like just the way the story's told, and also I mean I guess you could also include the script in there, which it's. But yeah, just going back to that middle part, it does feel like a different movie
Yeah.
as well. It's weird. And then I guess the way Jude Law was introduced, like a part of me was like, is that him later? But he doesn't grow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then it was confusing, and then they cut to him to the kid again. And I was like, "What is going on?" From
Yeah.
him to the kid, and I was like, "Oh
Yeah.
my god."
On that same night too.
Yeah. Which, by the way, when you told me about this movie, I immediately looked it up to see where it was. And this was before I knew about who was in this movie or anything like that, who directed it. And I saw the poster for that movie, and you know the poster has the kid's eyes. I knew immediately who that was.
Really?
I was like, those eyes are. I'm like that's the kid from The Sixth Sense. And then, like I looked,
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're kind of like droopy, and they're he just has a very recognizable face.
Is it
And
kid from The Sixth Sense?
yeah,
What's
Yeah.
his name?
I don't know his name.
It's like Joel Osment or something like that.
Oh yeah.
He has a show now, I think.
I remember him now because I can see him. He has a beard and like all this other shit.
Yeah,
Did
I've
you
also
know-
never watched.
Did you watch
that
Hannah
movie.
Montana growing up?
Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah Montana, Hannah. No,
No.
no, I did.
Okay, so you remember the best friend?
Yeah.
That's her sister. That's his sister, right? Kim. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Emily
didn't know
Osment.
that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, Hannah Montana's brother in that show though has like a disease.
He's what?
He has a disease.
Yeah, that makes him like super young looking. He was like 40 whenever they shot. Fucking wild.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jackson. Jackson was his name.
What is it? Jackson? No. Jackson? I forgot what it was.
I know what you're talking about.
How the dad would say it. Whatever.
Jackson Rod Stewart, I think.
Jackson Rod Stewart. I wanted to say Alex, but that's a whole another fucking show.
I know that one.
Was it Waverly Place? You ever watch that?
I have.
With
but,
Selena Gomez?
yeah, I watched it. I just don't remember that.
That's a dad. When he would get mad at her, she would like, Alex. So AI, bro, like it's I don't know. It's such a weird movie. Like it's a weird.
It's
way
a
to tell
lot.
it.
You know what I mean?
It's a lot.
It's a lot in the sense of like, it tries to take you, or not that it does take you. How do I explain this? Like it makes you want to understand what that mother's going through, or at least what the child's going through, and like it begs the question of like, can AI feel? Can it be? Can they be real even though they're a machine?
Yeah.
You know. And so it takes you there, and then it rips the kid apart in the sense of like from her, and then she goes off and she's like in fucking tears, but she like the rational side of her is like this is just a machine.
Yeah.
But her heart was like, oh my god, like this is my child.
Yeah, and she couldn't dispose of him properly.
Yes, and then he lives like this whole like he finds out what the world is and how cruel it can be. And then he goes this whole like time during that thing trying to find out like all he wants to do is be a real boy. All he wants to do is be back with his mom.
Yeah.
And so obviously it's like the Pinocchio thing. And then I was like, okay. And then he took me on a ride of 2,000 years, and I'm like, okay.
That part was wild to me, but like so fucking sad.
That was the sad part. Like
That
that's
he
where
was
it brought
just
me
waiting
back.
just looking at her, begging to be turned into a real boy.
Yeah.
And this bitch didn't do a damn thing.
Are we about to fucking die? Air control, we are losing speed fast. The fuck? Bro, that sounded like it was right here.
Right, it sounded fucking wild.
I wonder if this picked it up.
I wonder, did it?
It
Kim?
did.
Oh my goodness, that's
That's
terrifying.
wild.
That's
It would have been
terrifying.
cool if there was like some lights flashing from that thing. But yeah, this bitch didn't do a damn thing. She didn't grant his wish or nothing. And do you remember
didn't
when
grant
he
his
was
wish?
like sitting on the ledge of the building and he just goes like whoop and he just topples and goes into the water? I was like, whoa, what the fuck? It was so wild.
Why do you think he did that?
I don't know. I have no idea.
I wonder if it's just experience, because like, you know, you get to the point where you experience so much human emotion, so much sadness. Like, I wonder if that was his like version of committing suicide.
Maybe, or part of me was thinking like maybe like that's like maybe it. I thought where it was going when I first saw it. I thought where it was going was it was gonna do the same shot that with him in the pool. You know, when he grabs the brother and then like he goes into the pool with the brother and like he won't let go. Which, by the way, Kim brought it up too. Like whenever they went into the water and they were trying to separate them underwater, just bring them both up. Like, you don't have to fucking. Let's untie him.
You don't gotta be a dick about it.
Yeah,
He did. Yeah, it was kind of weird. I mean, this movie was weird. It had a lot of weird choices, and that was one of them.
Yeah.
He's like, don't let go, and I guess the realization of because he's not human, he doesn't understand that most people can't breathe.
Yeah.
Or not most people. All people can't breathe
Most
underwater.
people can't breathe
Most
underwater.
people, you know. Hey, we have Atlanteans, right?
Yeah.
We don't have Atlanteans, but anyways. Wow, what a weird podcast. This first 10 minutes have been so weird.
It's whenever we film at night, the fucking all bets are off. We're just off the fucking rails.
No, we did really good last. I don't know what it was.
Did we? Did we do well last time?
Yeah, okay.
We were here till like 11 p.m. We did not do very well. We were fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
That was this. Well, that first time we were cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, I guess, if you want to say that.
Yeah, but we've never done late again.
Yeah, we have.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have, bro.
No, we haven't.
You pulled on your shirt. I could see your undies.
It's okay. I'll cut
Thank
some-
you, Kim.
I'll cut
You
some
know
myself.
what? Thank you. Instead of remember last time where she cut to my camera when I was fucking fixing something.
Twice. You did it twice.
Twice. She was like, "Oh, is he fucking getting naked? Let me cut to him. Let's cut that close up." I don't know what it was.
I think we shot twice at night.
I don't remember.
I'm sure we
But either way, yeah, man, like this, I don't know, this kid, this poor kid, man. And then the ending was just so fucking sad. There's this episode of Futurama. I don't watch Futurama. Do you know about Futurama?
Yeah. I used to watch it when I was a kid.
Oh, did you really? Okay, so there's this episode where the dog gets left behind, right? And he's like, wait for me here. And then he goes back to the future or to the past, I don't know. But he goes back into some kind of time. And he's not able to get back to the dog.
Okay.
And then he just said, oh, the dog probably forgot about me. And then it just, when the credits roll, it's just the dog not leaving that space.
Okay, so I know actually a real story about that. So when the whole COVID thing was at a peak of everything was going on, in Mexico there was a story. I think it was Mexico. Anyways, there was a news report of a dog that got so famous because his owner got sick with COVID and went into the hospital, and the dog followed their car or the ambulance, I don't know, and he's probably still there waiting for him. His owner died, but he will not leave the hospital. Like, he waits outside, and the people already know him, and it's instead things.
It's like Hachi. Have you seen Hachi?
Hachi.
Hachi was the same thing. It was a movie about a dog, and it was for real. It was in Japan.
Oh, I did watch that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Where the dog waits for the owner, but the owner had like a heart attack or something, and he died. And he still went every fucking day to
That's
the
some
train.
loyalty right there.
So fucking loyalty, bro. I love dogs. I know you don't like dogs, but
I
Where's
don't
my girl?
dislike. I don't
Moxie?
dislike dogs.
she's not here.
You left your dog at home alone.
Yeah. She has a torn.
I guess you love her as much as I love her.
You love Moxie?
No.
Oh, okay.
That was the point.
Ah. No, I love that
I don't
little
hate
girl.
Moxie.
I love that little girl, man. I do things for that girl.
We're gonna. Oh, okay. Ooh,
I
saved
I
yourself.
would do some
I was like, yeah, what's the fuck going on over there?
like I just look at those eyes. I'm just like fucking you stay alive, you
You
little
weren't really
girl.
a dog person before, Moxie.
No, but that's the thing. Like I never knew I could love an animal so fucking much. It made no sense to me. And then I got her, and I was like, I could see it. I could fucking see it. I love that little girl.
I'm happy for you.
Hmm?
I'm happy for you.
I'll tell you, I met her before you. I was like, all right, show off.
It used to be my dog. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, so yeah, it's like that. That's kind of like that story of those dogs and the loyalty. It's kind of
Yeah.
like what it reminded me of. Whenever like he just stayed begging and begging and begging, and then just like
It's
time passed.
it's so hard to comprehend though, because like you understand that it's a machine,
Yeah,
and they programmed him to have all those emotions and feelings, and to react in that way. Cause man, that was so hard. When she left him in the woods, and he
Yeah.
just wouldn't let go, and I'm just
Uh-huh.
like, but like obviously in my head I was just like, well, I mean, he's a robot, you
It's
know.
just like leaving your vacuum out there. You know,
It's just like leaving your
your
vacuum
Roomba.
out there.
Yeah,
Hey Kim, I'll be back. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna leave this fucking vacuum over there. I'm tired of
he's
it.
gonna hug me before we go. Yeah, no, but it should be like that. But I mean, you form an emotional attachment, and like by the end of the movie, that's what you do, right? Like you feel for this fucking robot, and like the mom dies. I don't know. It's so sad
Yeah.
when they finally have like a perfect thing, like a perfect day together. I love the part where he goes like, "I found you," like because they were playing hide and seek at the beginning.
Yeah. My favorite part was she said, I don't know, they woke up and then he was like, do you want to make you coffee? And I was just like, oh, yeah. Here come the tears.
Uh huh.
I didn't cry, but. No, I didn't really. I felt sad, but I didn't feel like. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't feel that, like, knot in my throat
Yeah.
or kind of
I
like.
felt a knot in my throat because I just thought about my mom, right? And it's just like you just feel it, you know? And it's just like
I try not to think about my mom.
it's just so sad. It's just so fucking sad.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's sad about it, you know? It's just like all he wanted was to be a real boy.
Yeah.
And, you know, I was going to tell you to fix that. Cause
When did you bro? She was all the way up here. When did you tell me anything?
I didn't want to interrupt.
Ah, okay.
You literally interrupt me all the fucking time. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of like tough in the end, you know, to like, especially like, you know, it's a whole new organism 2,000 years later, and they're trying to explain these things to him, and they're just so he's a robot, but he's so far behind these organisms, you know. And even then, like, it makes you think about like where you're gonna go in life, in the sense of like not our lives, but like where the human race is going, or
Yeah.
where or what other organisms are out there. Because you know, being human is very complicated. I found this on the web. Again, being human is very complicated. You know, and you go through all these emotions. You could go through so many emotions in a day, and it's just like even when you die, you know how it's like that 7 steps of shit, whatever it is, like acceptance, and then there's like denial, and you know what I'm talking about? I don't think you know what I'm talking about.
No, yeah, the 7
Okay.
steps of grief.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And so it's just like, and I like that they tried to tap into that, but then he made the other organisms like, it's like we don't even know what it's like to be human, but we've read all these things about them that humans wrote up in poems and in movies and books and like all these things, and like that made me happy.
Yeah.
Because we do that. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know. Like, it's like what I've told you before about, like, why I want to tell stories, or why I like acting, or it's about stories, and I don't know why I get so involved, or why I want to watch things, like Take This Waltz. God, I love that fucking movie.
Yeah.
And it's not real. But whatever it makes me feel is real. And am I getting emotional right now?
But you didn't get emotional to the movie?
Yeah, no,
You get emotional by your own words, but not the movie.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. No, but that made me it made me happy that like and I know, again, I know somebody wrote that part, but I thought that was interesting. Like, it's an interesting perspective. Because, like, bro, humans are just fucking interesting creatures. And we could be so violent, you know? And, like, also, that's another thing that the movie showed, how we just dispose of the robot parts. And then they were just,
That was so cruel. I don't know.
Yeah,
who,
it's
Who
sad.
would do that? Who go to a show like that?
I mean, humans, bro. Like, I don't,
guess.
you know what I mean?
Boxing is so fucking weird to me.
I think UFC is even worse, bro.
Oh, absolutely. But it's just so weird how it's just like a gladiator sport still to this day.
But
Like,
it's
let's
so
see who can knock each other out.
Let's see who gets fucked up.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so wild to me. But hey, somehow it's okay. You know?
How's that even legal, right?
I don't know.
You can't punch somebody on the street, but you go ahead and fucking do it professionally. For a
Yeah.
living. Which but again, it's like, why do humans, like, as much as we love to love and love human connection, why do we love violence? Like, some of the most popular movies out there, I think the most popular movie out there, besides maybe romances, are horror films. Like, you know what I mean?
No, like what?
Like, just the genre of horror.
You think so?
I think people. I mean, bro, think about how many bad movies there are in horror film. Then people go.
I think we're gonna go with action movies.
I mean, action movies are very popular, but they're entertaining, and they're not as like.
Fuck horror, I guess. At least they're entertaining.
No,
bro.
no, but like they're like, how can I like horror movies are entertaining as well. And they captivate you in that way. But I'm talking maybe like slasher films, kind of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, remember we talked about Halloween and how bad that movie was, but yet theaters are packed because people just love to get scared and people love to see some fucking horror shit.
Yeah.
But why? You know, and people talk about desensitized. Like, are we really desensitized, or have we always been like that? Because, like, as horrific as the world is right now, it used to be fucking bad too. You know, with all these wars and shit like that. So, I don't know. It's just weird. How can we love something so much and then turn around and just kill people for that one thing?
You know, Kim and I talk about the people that kill for money. Like how people would like kill like a family member for insurance money.
Oh, Double Indemnity. Remember that movie?
Double Indemnity?
Yeah, you told me to watch that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just like the person that you're supposed to love with your whole fucking life,
Yeah.
you're going to kill so you can get their insurance money.
It's fucked up.
Yeah.
People would do that.
I want to hear from Kim. I want to hear from Kim about this movie. And
Yeah, what made you love it so much or cry your eyes? Were you crying in this film?
no.
But you were, Kim. Yesterday you were dying.
Every time I watch this movie, I literally gasp for air. Like, it hurts my soul. I just don't know why, like, this movie affects me so much. I don't know if it has something to do, like, because it affected me when I was younger.
I think so. I mean, I think that's a big part.
But it really hurts my soul, and I love it.
Are you crying right now? I can't see.
I want to, yeah.
I mean, I see why. It's kind of a movie that, like, it makes you reflect on life.
Yeah.
And, like, where we are going towards, or like.
Which, by the way, spot on. Like,
Oh no, yeah.
where it's like, hey, you know, we took care of the world, and like we didn't take care of the world, and now oceans levels are rising, and AI. It's like, while we were watching the movie, I was literally on OpenAI. I was on ChatGPT, fucking
Oh my God.
having to do work for me. And I was just like doing it. And I was just like, this is so wild that we were talking about AI. And I'm over here with the AI just fucking doing, like, you know, getting shit done.
You know,
and
but-
so
yeah.
it's like, this is too accurate. And also the cars kind of look like where cars are going. Like, you know, like while I was looking at the steering wheel and like the roof, and I was like, if you told me like that was a Tesla, just from that one angle, I would believe you.
Also, I will say though that Elon Musk loves to watch shit and be like, I want to do that.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Like the Cybertruck, it's inspired by something. I forgot what it was.
I don't know, but I know that
Tron, by Tron.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I'd have to watch Tron again. I think I watched that years ago. I don't
I haven't
remember it.
watched it.
But I know that he made his rocket ship pointier because of the dictator. Did you hear about that?
No.
I think Joe Rogan asked him. He's like, "Did you make? He's like, is it true that you told them to make your rocket, or spaceship, pointier because of the movie The Dictator?" He's like, "Yeah, I did." He's like, "It just looks more menacing." I'm like, "Oh, what the fuck?"
Fucking one time I was seeing this interview with Elon Musk. It was so wild because like it was a reporter that goes like, he was talking about something with the thrusters, and then he was like, yeah, so the thrusters we do this like their propulsion systems and like whatever, and then the reporter goes like, wouldn't it make sense? Like, why do you do it that way instead of doing it this way? And he goes like, huh,
Yeah.
yeah, you're right. And then like he switched it up, like he
Yeah.
just took that reporter's advice and he was like, huh, didn't think about it that way. You're right. Okay.
He's like, yeah, he's like,
I'm gonna have my team look into that.
but he caught himself before he gave him credit. Did you see
Yeah.
that? He's like, we're gonna fix that. We're
Yeah.
gonna fix that.
Yeah.
And then they did. I think the next year he was like, and then he made it seem like it was his idea. And I was like, no, bitch.
No, he gave it to his
He
reporter.
gave
was
him
like,
credit, but like he covered himself in a way. I don't remember what it was, but I think it was like legally, probably,
okay.
just so he doesn't have to pay him for whatever
Yeah.
it was. But it was something. It was something. But the way he
Yeah.
said it, I just know he covered.
But
his
I
ass.
like the way that whenever he brought it back up, he was like, it was actually your whenever you came last time or whatever, and he was like,
Yeah, I remember that, yeah.
made me rethink like whatever.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Like he covered his ass, so
Yeah.
he doesn't have to like maybe pay him for whatever.
But you know that guy's like fucking. Hey, you know that fucking rocket ship? Man, I did that.
that shit.
You built the rocket ship? No, but you know I told him about some thrusters.
Yeah, I told him like, why didn't you do this? And he took my advice, of course.
Yeah.
Um,
So yeah, no, I could definitely see that. But like,
Yeah.
it does go to like where like cars are going and all that kind of stuff. And so like there were a lot of things that were pretty like accurate about the movie. That were like, I can see this shit happening. I can see fucking New York being underwater, and like
I love New York.
that shit being that shit being just like completely submerged, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it was fucking wild too.
Yeah, it was accurate. I don't know. It was 2 hours and a half, but I still feel like it maybe needed more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it packed so much.
Uh-huh.
It was like such a personal story,
Yeah.
and then it went like I don't
It
know,
was just a sliver of time. 2,000 years.
1,000 years of a time period. Jesus Christ.
Kim,
I
how
don't
did you feel about the middle part of the movie? Like the robot fighting and all that kind of stuff.
I don't think it was necessary, but I guess it added like some action to it.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just about a story of a robot.
Of a sad boy.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think more than anything, he was trying to, like, show us, like, what humans were like in a way, and like, how do you not include? Because we attach ourselves to things, anyways, like, regardless of you know what I mean. Like, people can't get rid of certain things just because of sentimental value.
Yeah.
And it's a thing. It doesn't talk or anything. So
Yeah.
just imagine a boy that does, even though he's not real, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know, and it's just like, yeah, I guess he could have added that middle part added in the way.
Yeah. There was
I don't know how to explain.
there's a show that I love. I absolutely love this show. I'm not even religious, but I love this show. It's called The Good Place. And
I know you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there is, I guess she's a robot.
Oh, there's a
No,
robot?
she's just a personal assistant. And her name is Janet, right? And
It's not the main girl, right?
what's up?
It's not the main girl.
No, it's not the main girl.
Okay.
She's one of the main characters, but not the main girl of the show. And like she has a thing where like you can destroy her. She's like, oh yeah, it's just this button that you have on the beach, whatever. And she doesn't have any feelings or any emotions or anything like that. At least at the beginning of the show, she starts developing them. Fucking great show. Anyway,
Yeah, I know
at the beginning of the show, she doesn't have any emotions or doesn't attach herself to anything because she's just an assistant. And she was like, oh yeah, there's a button in the middle of the beach where you can just press and I will destroy. I will reset everything and I will get destroyed. And like they go press it and like she goes like, no, please, no, don't do it. They're like, oh shit, okay, I'm sorry.
Thanks,
And then she was like, That's just my defense mechanism. That's something that I do in order to not,
Well, that's what he did in the movie too.
yeah.
You know.
And then like they'll go to prison again, like, no, look, these are my children. These are my children. And it's just like show like this. He just got a cast because whatever. Like he broke his arm or whatever. And they need me. I don't know. It's fucking funny. I don't know. But that's kind of what it reminds me of. It's just like that like how much of that is programmed in and how much of that is like, like can we actually get to the point where like these machines can feel, like actual feelings that are not,
Yeah.
well, I don't know how we not program them, right? To not feel that. Like, sorry, I don't know how we would program them and those feelings be real from anything but a program. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Get it? Please. Thank you.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. He did also explain that how, like, towards the end when he found him again, and he was like, I didn't even know you had the capability of, like, having a dream.
Chasing dreams.
Tracing dreams. And I'm just like, cool. But also it's an AI.
Yeah.
And it continually learns human behavior.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's the thing. It's just like I don't believe in that. You know what I mean? And we watched so many AI movies. I don't know.
We have, yeah.
And in her, I mean, obviously I know it's a different world, but I just don't think it's possible for AI to like know what love is,
Yeah.
or because they're programmed that way. And it's just like, I just think about her, when he's like, how many people? He's like, Sam, how many people are you talking to? And she's like, I'm talking to 5,600 or some shit. And then he realized like, oh my God, she's not capable of loving. And then she tries to explain like why she is capable. It's like, yeah, but you're different. Like I'm like right now I turned off everybody else. I'm only talking to you. And it's just like, and I know that's like a very intro AI.
What a fucking movie.
What a fucking movie. We need to watch that again. But you know what I mean?
Because remember whenever he goes like, are you in love with anybody else? And then he goes, she tells him like 100 and whatever. And he's just like, and it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, when he's sitting at the stairs, right?
I didn't know I could talk to other people. I didn't know we weren't exclusive.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It's just like, damn, like, and again, this is a different movie, and this AI may be more advanced than that AI. You will never know, right? But it's questions like that, things like that make me feel like, wow. Like, because remember, and even in the beginning, he's all like, remember she did that finger thing? What's that called? She put his fingers behind his back. The imprinting. Like, he'll never, like, he could never be re-imprinted to somebody else. Like, we'd have to destroy him right after. Because he's basically you'd be his mom, and like that's what he would feel like the rest of his life is like, but it's programmed. He wasn't like that in the beginning until she decided to imprint him.
I actually been seeing a lot of AI movies lately. We saw Megan.
I watched Megan too.
What a silly movie that was.
Oh my God, I know.
What a silly little girl of a movie that was.
I would have never watched that movie.
You will never watch the movie?
I would have never watched it.
Oh, had it not been for Vanessa?
I'm human, and then I became in love, and then it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah. It's one of those movies that is just like, it's kind of like a slasher film, kind of.
It's. I mean, the dancing was funny. When she does like this
funny,
fucking shit, it's like, okay, well, it is an AI movie too, though. I guess I didn't even think about it. I was thinking about her in Ex Machina, but that
Me
one
too.
is too. Yeah.
There's also that one.
Even in Ex Machina, remember she fucking makes him feel like she's in love with him. And then
to manipulate him. Yeah.
And so she she did pass the test, obviously. The turret test, right? But I just don't like, just because you understand how to make human behavior or how to emulate human behavior doesn't mean
that you feel.
We're literally talking about this like right before we started. But the whole, and we can't understand, we will never understand what women's go through when having kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As men, we won't. But it's kind of the same thing. Like, how can a robot know what a human? I mean, he could read all the books in the world, but he'll never know that.
Yeah.
They'll never know love in that way. So I just feel like it's the same thing.
Yeah.
And girls won't understand guys because we're different. We're different in that way. I don't know how to explain that, but
I didn't touch my finger. I was supposed to, and then like they just didn't align.
you're not very coordinated. It's okay.
Okay, you want to go into ratings?
Yeah, we go into ratings. Wait, is there anything? I feel like we're missing stuff.
The ending, fucking
I just think that ending. I mean, that ending for me definitely saved the movie. Like, I love the beginning.
saved.
Well,
You think it was a bad movie until?
no,
then?
I don't think it was a bad movie. So maybe I shouldn't say saved. I don't think it was a bad movie, but definitely the middle kind of threw me off. And maybe it's because again, like it's not a movie. It's not a movie where it was about the connection that he had with his mom. It was more about a movie of like our society and how our society like is the most beautiful thing in the world, but also the most horrific thing in the world. And so maybe that's what it is about it, because I don't know, just the ending it was just sad. Like to me, like I was captivated, or I was like, okay, I see kind of where this is going in the beginning, and then it took a fucking left turn. I'm like, I have no idea where this movie's going anymore. And then where I thought it was gonna end, it didn't.
Where do you think it was gonna end?
Well, with the ferry, like I thought he was just gonna be there forever, and then all of a sudden,
That would also been a good ending.
all of a sudden 2000 that literally thought that was the ending, and then all of a sudden 2000 years I'm like past, or 2000 years later I'm like,
I honestly,
what?
Kim, can I be honest? I forgot about that ending. I had forgotten that ending had happened. In my mind, the ending was the him like just being
In the water.
and just like
Yeah.
dying in the thing. But then like I forgot all about it. But whenever I saw it again, I was like, oh yeah, that shit. I
No, it
forgot
makes sense,
how
yeah.
that shit hit me. So I like this movie. I thought it was fun.
I liked it too. I don't think I was in love with the movie. Like, I mean, it's not my type of movie either. It made me think, especially those last 30 minutes, I think, is when like that really started going. Because it is sad, you know?
It is sad.
And I think, I mean, obviously, we're also like, as human beings, we're so self centered, you know, to think that other organisms are not going to be like us with the emotions that we have. You know, because obviously these aliens, I guess, were like, we can't comprehend what human behavior is like because they made them so rational. But how would we know that, you know? But again, it's being human, and we think up to like the age of, I don't know, like 22, 23, that the world revolves around us. So somebody breaks your heart, or you have a kid, and you're like, oh, it doesn't revolve around me.
Yeah.
You know, especially in high school when you're just like, oh my God, like you're like literally the protagonist of your own movie, and you don't know you're in that until like, you know, you grow up and you realize that life's not that way. And some people never realize that, and that's sad, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how I got into that conversation, but
I don't know either.
all right, ratings. Let's go to ratings.
All right. Kimberly. Story. I think the story.
It was a crazy story.
It's a crazy fucking story.
It was a crazy story.
It was a unique story though.
I mean, yeah, it was unique. Yeah.
It was unique in like the situations that he was in too. Like it wasn't. It's not a movie that I think. Not saying that it couldn't be made again, but like if you were just thinking of a movie to make, you can come up with a million different scripts. I don't think you could ever land this exact, movie again. And so, because I feel like a lot of movies are like that, right? Like a lot of movies, you can just come up with a plot. Like if you just go like, this is the plot, you could like write the movie, and like 99% of the movies will be like the same thing that you thought of, right? But like this one was very fucking different, and so I would like to give it some points for its uniqueness as well.
I mean, it's not a story. I mean, it makes you. It's so unrelatable, and I think that's what it's affecting us. Like it's like not. It's such a broad. I mean, I think maybe I'm gearing towards the end of it, because like at the end you realize that this machine lived 2,000 years, and then it's not us, but he knew our behaviors, and so that kind of separates me from the movie. But because he's not relatable, you know, nobody's fucking.
He doesn't die.
Yeah, but I mean, he had relatable things like like what kid wants to be separated from their mom, and that hurt to watch because it's like that's and like he let it linger, it wasn't like it was like we'll just shoot this short. No, he let her like go. It felt like Steven Spielberg was like go as long as you think you need to go.
Yeah.
And he just kept bugging her and kept bugging her. And at some point, I felt like, okay, it's probably gonna end right about now. And it just kept going and kept going, and it's just like that eagerness to just please stay. I could be better. That was interesting. I don't know where I was going with that.
Did you know that Dr. No was Robin Williams? That Einstein projector thing?
I know what you're talking about. I'm trying to remember his voice. It was Robin Williams?
Yeah, it was Robin Williams.
God, he was so good at everything.
He was so fun. Have you seen World's Greatest Dad?
No. I've heard it's really good, though.
Fucking sad, bro.
Did I ever tell you how... First of all, he's very talented. He's hilarious, but he's also a very talented actor.
He has a good range. Yeah.
Because he was in a... So you know how it's impossible to get into Juilliard?
Mm-hmm.
And there was like a program at Juilliard. Because like Juilliard, I mean, most schools only take like 10 students, but everybody auditions for Juilliard.
Mm-hmm.
And so Juilliard only takes like 10 students out of like, I don't know, thousands that apply and audition. And he got in Juilliard, but then only 2 students out of all those students get like a special scholarship for like being like, and like take special classes. Like I think they have a different mentor because like they're like so advanced. I mean, I think this is a thing that they used to. I don't know if they do it now. But so with the other actor was Christopher Reeves, which was Superman, which was an amazing actor. I mean, his career literally stopped because of what happened to him, but he was supposed to be like one of the greatest of all time. And the other one was Robin Williams. And I'm just like, what? It's like you don't see him that way because he's such a funny guy, but his improv skills are crazy. Yeah. Like if you ever watch an improv from him, he could just go. And I don't think anybody had that talent. Yeah. Like no matter how funny you are and how much of a motor you have to like put out comedy like that, or like at least improv, he's different. Like I've never seen any actor like that. He just like the things that he comes up with, I'm just like, bro, how does your brain even make all that stuff up? You know what I mean?
I love them in Birdcage.
The
love them in Birdcage. I love The World's Greatest Dad.
How about fucking Good Will Hunting?
Good Will Hunting, yeah.
What was that line?
How about them
Son
apples?
of a bitch stole my line.
Yeah. That was improv, wasn't it?
Yeah, the line wasn't written that way.
Yeah.
But that's or I don't think it was written at all.
It was. I think he just like.
He was just supposed to be quiet about it or something, and then he was like, "Son of a bitch stole my line." He was so good. God, yeah. Man.
Next month we're gonna do a whole month of Robin Williams movies.
Oh, are we?
Get ready. Or stay ready, whatever.
We're gonna include Aladdin.
Yeah, the new one too with Will Smith, so we can compare it. We're not. We're not. So yeah, what would you give this for a story? I think I would give it like a 3.5.
I'll give it a 3.
Okay, 3.25. 3.25. Kim, what would you give it for a story? Would you give it a higher rating?
I'd give it a 4.
You give it a 4?
Interesting.
That's good. 4.33. 4.33. Okay, that's good.
Yeah. It was different. It was a different story. I mean, it wasn't bad or anything. It just I think 3. I mean, I'll stay with my.
I think it was good.
Yeah, I think it was. I think I'll still stick with my original. I think 3 is a good rating.
What's next, Kim?
Beautifulness.
The beauty of this film. I think the set design on a lot of these were like really.
Seems
really
like you just
good.
trying to find.
Huh?
The way you said it just seemed like you were just trying to find things.
No. The set design, because I was trying to think of like the way they filmed it.
Yeah.
There were a lot of like beautiful shots, but it's like very standard. But like the set design, I think like really set it apart. Like it really took you into that time, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like in the near future, but like still distant enough, but still like, you know, Like you could see the world being that way, and I thought that was really good because like when it was when everything was cheery and everything was great, it was very open and very like warm and a lot of wood tones and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then after that, it got cold, right? It got cold and neon, and you saw like this very kind of like
Vegas.
Vegas cyberpunk kind of vibe, right?
You play Cyberpunk?
I did, dude. It got me motion sick as hell. I gotta stop. I had to stop.
I got you motion sick?
Dude, I don't know what it is about first player games, but like if I play them for long enough, I'm just like,
I don't. Yeah, I'll play them, but I do.
But the thing
prefer.
is, I play VR for hours and I'll be fine.
That's weird.
And so yeah, I would give a beauty of 4.
Like the beautifulness.
I would give it the beauty of 4. I think the it wasn't the cinematography more than it was like the set design.
Yeah.
I think that's what really set it apart for me. Kind of like in the same way that Ex Machina was. Where the Ex Machina, the set was very, very fucking beautiful.
My
It was
God.
just great, right? But like you look at the color grading is just like on par. Like it's solid, but
Yeah,
it's not
just-
like Blade Runner or Her, where like
I loved her.
just the colors of the scene and everything just like fucking blends together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Joker was. We talked about that last time too.
Yeah.
Joker was very good.
yeah, when it comes to like the
That's the thing. Like I could understand color grading it in that way,
Mm-hmm.
but those movies that are that high budget and with that vision are
Yeah.
displayed like that,
Mm-hmm.
like on set.
Yeah.
Like, and I just don't know how they get those colors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Blade Runner, when you find out, obviously Roger Deakins is a fucking genius,
Mm-hmm.
but when you just realize that like all that footage that they captured that day is what
It's what it actually looked like.
is what it looked like,
Yeah.
and you're just like, excuse me,
Yeah.
how do you make
You
that?
just place the camera exactly where it needs to go,
Yeah.
so that everything is symmetrical. You place the camera exactly like you move the camera to the degree that you
Yeah.
move it to the speed that you move it, so that you can invoke a certain emotion. It's fucking it's a work of art. You know what I mean?
He's so good at what he does.
I really like the set design from this movie, and I think that
Yeah.
it set the tone pretty good throughout the entire movie of like where
The-
everything was. Because then when it got to New York, so gloomy, right? So gloomy, so like abandoned, so everything, and it was just cold and dark, and you
Yeah.
felt it. You felt that like whenever he got there, it wasn't a happy. Like your mind immediately goes like, there's something off here. This is not the end of the movie. There's something wrong here. Like this is not gonna end in a happy way. If it ends here, it's not happy. You knew that just by looking at the scene. And so like, and then it goes back to the house, of course, right? And everything's warm and everything's wood tones and inviting and
It was bright
open.
too, though.
It was what?
It was very bright
Yeah.
because I don't know. It almost had like when he met those aliens and stuff like that. Like it almost, especially when I was at his house, it was so bright. It had that like heaven feeling.
Yeah.
You know.
I think that's what it was supposed to be, right?
I mean, I think so.
It's
but
like almost like a dream, almost. If anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, everything was. I mean, I don't know. It wasn't like it's not. I try to think about it in the sense of like, is it something I remember?
Uh huh.
You know, and like it's definitely something that takes me a while to remember or to think about. Cause like when I think about, was that a bug?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I did see. I don't know if you saw me look at it, but
I saw you.
from this distance, I didn't know if it was a bug or if it was just something like una lanita or something.
Mm.
So I didn't want to say anything.
Una lanita.
Una lanita.
Unos cuantos dólares. All right, bro. Anyway, so
Oh my god. But anyways, it's something that like Cha Cha real smooth. Like it's not. It's just a normal looking movie. This didn't have that. Like it's definitely one above.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not something that like when I think about her, I think about the way it looks. Like
Yeah.
Joker, I think about the way it looks.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of want to give it a 3.
I thought you were gonna go higher than that.
Yeah.
I was gonna go with 3.5 because like it's not like super high end, but like I think that it stood up. Like I do think about it whenever I think of this movie. I do
I,
think
I
about
don't
the
unless
looks of it.
like if somebody tells me to think about it, I'm like, oh yeah, it did have this. It did have that extra level of whatever. But it's not. But it doesn't immediately come to my head.
You don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily remember it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna have to go with 3 on that. But
3.5 for me. 3.25. Kim?
I'll give it a foe.
Foe?
Foe.
3.33.
here we go again.
Here we go again.
I kind of want to be more than friends.
I don't know the lyrics. That's
So
all
take
I knew.
it easy on me. Okay, anyways. What is that song? Okay, got it. I know what you're
Oh, oh.
Yeah, it took me a while to get there. But I was
Yeah.
like, ah, okay. I was like,
What's next, Kim?
Soundtrack.
I don't remember anything.
I don't remember the soundtrack, if I'm going to be honest. Kim, am I forgetting something with the soundtrack?
I was gonna rate it 2 because I don't remember anything.
Good. All right. Let's
Yeah.
do 1.
I think it's just
One,
sad
yeah.
music. I think it's
Yeah, it's
like
just sad
sad
music. And
Sad music, right?
Steven Spielberg, I mean, I'm assuming the soundtrack was solid because it's Steven Spielberg. And he usually
Yeah.
has, what's his name? Hans Zimmer? Is that him? They usually have?
Oh, that's the guy.
I think so.
Hans Zimmer? I don't know.
Kim, can you look up who did the soundtrack for this movie? If it's Hans Zimmer,
Is it Hans or Hans?
Hans.
John Williams.
John Williams. Wait, then who does Hans Zimmer? Maybe Hans Zimmer is with somebody else, not Steven Spielberg. John Williams is also like is somebody that is like always associated with Steven Spielberg. So yeah, soundtrack. I would give it probably like a 1 or 2. Honestly, I'm sure it was good.
That's what I
It's just not memorable.
I can't remember it. I can't give it a 1 because I know it's not bad because it's a Spielberg movie.
Yeah.
So I can't give it a 1. I can't give it a 3 because I just don't remember it. But I give it a 2. 2 again.
2, 2, 2's all around.
2.
Let's do it. 2.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
What's next?
Balance.
Balance. Ooh, this is a tough one.
It is kind of weird, right?
How was the acting for you as an
Acting
actor?
was very good.
Yeah?
Yeah, the acting was very good. But the thing is that like it also doesn't require a lot because of the way the story is. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I'd say the most challenging part would probably when he had to leave or when she was trying to leave him in the forest.
Uh-huh.
Other than that, I mean, Jude Law was fucking hilarious and he was weird with it and he was very comfortable in what he was, you know?
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool to watch as well. But so I mean, I think acting was very, 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 very solid, you know. But it's not a movie. It's not a script that's gonna like pull a performance out of an actor because it's not what it's made for. You
Yeah.
know? So what it was great, you know, and for what it was. And I'm trying to think of other things. I mean, the soundtrack. I know we just said it was a 2, but it did go very well with the movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't give it a 5. I kind of want to give it a 3, but I kind of want to give it a 4.
Yeah, me too. I was gonna say 4. Just
Yeah.
because like there's no complaints from my end at all
Yeah.
about it. I thought the acting was good. I thought the directing, of course, is fucking Steven
Yeah.
Spielberg.
I'll give it a 4 because I just thought about directing.
Yeah.
Like,
And
there
like, the
are a lot of
script
weird shots
all that kind of
stuff.
shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Dialogue was good. I love that I found you thing, that tie back. Ooh, I love tie backs. You know what I'm talking about? I love,
It's the sparkle in his eye. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? When
Uh-huh.
when he sees her again.
and she does it too. She does the,
Yeah.
you know, just like a little smile. And it's cute. 4. 4?
4.
Kim?
4.5.
4.5?
Yeah.
I have 4.113. I'm just kidding. I don't even fucking know.
I don't think that's the number, but okay.
Okay.
Rewatchability.
Oh, it's a long movie. That's the thing. It's a fucking long one.
I think it is long, and it's
and it's a wild ride, too.
a wild ride, but I think it makes you think enough. I think I'd give it a 4.
Really?
Yeah, because
Didn't you say you would never watch this movie?
I wouldn't. Yeah, I mean, but I didn't know what it was. Like, it's not a movie that like I'd put on my list to watch.
But you would rewatch it?
The thing is, not necessarily. Like, I would rewatch it, But I'm not trying to be biased about like what my personal preference is to
Oh,
watch a
gotcha.
movie. I'm trying
Like,
to do
if
it
you
on.
love this movie, would you?
I think it has enough substance where like you watch it, you're gonna catch something different. It's gonna make you reflect
Yeah.
again. Because the questions that kept coming up for me was like, what are we as a society,
Uh-huh.
and what have we done, kind
Yeah.
of a thing. And I think that because it asks questions like that, or it shows you, I think that makes it so rewatchable because I don't think you'll never know. And I love things that are open ended that way. Like, and even though he shows you a certain thing and like the way he thinks the world's gonna go and stuff like that, like I still think it's open enough to have a conversation about
Yeah.
on what you just think life is. And so that's why I'll give it a 4. Now, again, it's not a movie that I'm like, it's gonna make me feel a certain way, but it makes me think enough that when I'm watching that movie that I think it's a 4.
Gotcha. Kim, what would you think?
Honestly, probably like a 2.53. Only because I have to mentally prepare myself to
Yeah.
watch this
Oh,
movie.
okay.
Like I didn't want to watch it last night because I wasn't in the mood to cry.
Yeah.
So it's just one
But
of those.
she did,
Yeah,
and she cried.
I cried a lot.
She cried a lot. And so to me, it's more I gotta clear my schedule. I gotta set apart almost 3 hours
Yeah.
of me watching this movie and then me talking to Kim afterwards
No, it
for
makes
30
sense.
minutes.
Yeah.
I love you, I love you, I love you. Everything's fine,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I would give the rewatchability like a 4, I think. No, sorry, a 3.
I was like, okay.
I would give the rewatchability like a 3 for me.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Like I would rewatch it if Kim wanted to watch it, or if I just wanted to feel
Yeah.
fucking sad. But
yeah. I mean, for me, I give it a 4 just because, like, I think, like I said before, like I think about things like heist movies or mystery movies.
Yeah, exactly.
They're just unrewatchable. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I know sometimes, like you said, like if it's good writing, like you catch certain things, but even then, like you already know how it's gonna end. Like
Yeah.
the important thing about those movies is finding out where it leads to.
Yeah.
And once you find out the mystery or the, it's kind of over.
Yeah.
Regardless if you like the movie or not, you're gonna go back and rewatch it. And so this doesn't have that,
Yeah.
Like regardless if you know how it's gonna end or anything like that, like it still makes you think about all those things. So yeah, for me, it's a 4 for me.
Nope. Cool.
Just something about it.
Just so bad. I think there is something about this movie. There's a lot of actors that I like in it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people, like every time that I watch, like we watched it, and like I recognize an actor that I like now, But like the first time that I watched it, I hadn't, like I had no idea they existed, and
Makes
so
sense.
like it's fun seeing that in old movies. You're like, oh, is that
Yeah.
that girl from The Thing?
Yeah.
And so like there's like moments like that throughout the film where like the first time I watched it, it's just like, oh, these are just random people. But now that I watch it again, I'm just like, oh, those are people that I now like. And so like I think it's pretty cool. And that's not just something about it, but I just thought it was a fun little thing.
I'm glad you shared your thoughts about it.
Thank you. Just something about it. I think that it's special to me because of the way they make Kim feel. Like I love seeing her emotions towards things, and so like her feeling so strongly about this movie. I think there's something about that to me that I really like gravitate to.
Yeah, makes sense.
So I would give it probably like a 4 and just something about it because it does make me feel.
Higher.
It makes me feel. It makes my girl feel. I like it when things make my girl feel. It's awesome. Great.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'd give it a 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because again,
like before we listen before we started, or it was before we started even filming. They were talking about like how like men love to like see their like significant other cry or like at the most vulnerable
at their
and all
most
that kind of
ugliest.
stuff. Yeah, like I don't know, like having that window into Kim kind of like I don't know, makes me feel closer to her.
Yeah, that intimacy.
And so and so I like it.
Proof that what I said was correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give it a 4 just because again it makes you think.
Did you include
I
that
did.
part?
I have a clip. but I don't think I'm gonna do it.
You should do it just like, oh, it's a new episode out.
That's what I was gonna do it for, but then I think Vanessa told me about another one, and I'll show you what it was.
Okay.
So we're doing 3 now, so it'll be Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday.
Through what?
Clips.
Oh, cool. All right.
Yeah. So I pull out a whole bunch of clips and I asked her which ones you like. But yeah, I gave it a 4, but I think because it makes you think. Like there is something about that aspect where like it just puts you like in a different mindset.
Yeah.
It's like you watch the movie, it may not be the most interesting movie out there, but it makes you think.
Yeah.
And movies that, at least for me, movies that make me think about like after, and sometimes it lingers. Like sometimes when I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm just like, that was interesting. And then all of a sudden, it's like 2-3 hours later, I'm still thinking about that. You know what I mean? And it's like when you're watching it, you don't know how much of an impact that had on you until like hours pass, and you're just like, oh.
Oh.
So yeah, I give it a 4 because of that.
Like that. Oh. All right. Yeah, so you give it a 4.
4.
I give it a 4. Kim?
I give it a 5.
Does she love this movie as much as I thought she loved this movie?
I think so. I think it's like, where is it in your top movies? Is it in your top 10, top 20, top 100?
Not in my top 5 or maybe top 10. Maybe. But not top 5.
Not top 5. Okay. What is your top 1 movie?
I think Love Rosie, honestly.
That's crazy.
You're right. You can even tell on the part. Nah, it's the Printer movie. It's Coexist.
Coexist.
It was pretty good. It was all right. It wasn't terrible.
I don't know. I haven't watched it. Like
You never watched it?
I don't think I watched the whole thing. Or no, I did watch the whole thing, but I haven't watched it in a while, so I don't remember how bad it
we'll
was.
watch it
or
after
how good
this.
it was. But yeah, we'll watch
It
it
wasn't
after.
bad. I loved it.
I loved it too.
I don't know why you never put it.
I will
on
post it. You know
Instagram.
what? Let's post it.
Okay.
Let's post it in Concession tapes. Let's talk about it next time.
Okay.
It's very short. We can watch it.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. We also gotta do more things, but we could talk about this after this. We just finish this up.
Okay. So that's it, right?
That's it. Yeah.
So that was AI, artificial intelligence. This was Kim's pick, which sacrificed one of my picks
Counts
for
as
it,
your
but
pick.
that's
Love.
totally fine. I love you. I love you.
That's love.
That's love right there.
What is
Why
love?
doesn't Vanessa do a pick? That's a bad idea. Let's go.
Now you have to. I have to. Yeah.
Yeah, now
I'll
we
tell her.
have to. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll tell
fine.
her. I'll
It's
tell
gonna
her.
be like Transformers or something.
No, what is she likes? Like, I think Vanessa doesn't really watch movies unless I
want to know what Vanessa's favorite movie is.
I don't even know if I know her favorite.
We can have Vanessa on the show just one day. Just one day.
No, I was gonna tell her to be on this one.
Yeah.
But
On this one?
yeah.
For
So I talked to her Monday, and we were talking about other stuff, and she was just telling me like how sometimes, well, she was giving me advice on some things that we could do because I asked her for that stuff, and like obviously like sometimes I just feel like you guys don't listen to each other, and that is very true, especially me. Like you'll start saying something, and then I'll remember something, and I'll cut you off, and I'll be like, oh, and then we'll never come back to whatever you were saying.
yeah.
And so she was just saying you just have to listen more, and I'm just like, how about you be on the podcast and then you regulate that shit.
She could be like our therapist.
Kind of. She's like the moderator, kind of a thing.
yeah.
Like she'll give her own thoughts, but she'll be like, "Let him finish." Like, she'll be like that. So
Okay.
okay.
All right, we can do that. We can have.
But I was gonna say also, and I know Kim's with us all the time. But if we could do a double. If you wanted to be on camera, I don't know if you do, but does that make sense? Like the day that Vanessa's on, you could have Kim too.
Oh, okay.
If you want to be on camera.
If you want to be on camera.
Yeah.
We could even be the one switching at that point.
But she did say, but she's about to start school, so it may not start up. We may not do that till later, but
We'll have on Vanessa one of these days.
we will, yeah, and we'll make sure it's her movie.
But speaking of next, the next movie we're doing,
Is Drive My Car.
it is. I was wondering if you're gonna go that one or the other one.
Which one?
Take This Waltz. But that was coming out before, so
Yeah.
we're good. So yeah, Drive My Car. I've never even heard of this movie, other than in your list, and so I'm excited.
You never heard of this movie? Oh, okay.
So, going in blind, baby.
It's a good
Going
movie.
all Stevie Wonder on this
It is
bitch.
it is subtitled, so
What? What language is it?
It's a lot of different languages,
Huh?
I think.
What do you mean?
I don't know what the main one is. I forget.
Okay. We'll figure it out.
I don't want to fuck it up, so I'm not gonna say. But
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
it's a good movie though.
Where's it on?
HBO.
We'll watch it. We kind of have to.
Please.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We will.
Just like
All
let's
right.
take this walk. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyways.
That was it. Thank you for
Yes,
tuning
I
in. And
Yeah.
we'll see you next time.